Great rising, y'all. This video is geared mainly to the folks who are newbies in the metaphysical arena. First of all, I want to say there's nothing to fear, provided you align with the universal and natural laws, and the universe, of course, rewards accordingly, with consequences that are pleasant, and also challenges and lessons to learn, because we cannot develop and evolve unless we have some pushbacks. But again, no need to fear, just align accordingly, and the universe will administer what it deems suitable for every circumstance. I want to share that I'm a former Christian. I was one of those fervent Christians, speaking in tongues, reading the Bible sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes praying prostrate, going to Bible study, Sunday school, Sunday services, etc. And being really earnest about learning as much as I could about the Christian quote unquote walk. Well, I had to vacate that posture because I learned better, and when we learn better, as the saying goes, we do better. We live and learn and amend accordingly. But I do want to share a bit about when I was in the Christian world. I found that I never fit into any of the churches, and I was what they call a church hopper. I kept hopping until I found a church that was fitting for me, which I never did. But in every one I attended, I normally found at least a few people who took Christianity seriously. They were authentic, and I found out that I was one of the authentic ones. I was sincere about a lot of stuff, but sincerely wrong, I later discovered. Okay, but I will say that I also learned when I was in the Christian community, and that was for many years, that there were only a few that flowed in love. And Christianity, so they say, is supposed to be based on love. But I cannot tell you how many Christians that I encountered that were anything but loving. And so that kind of discouraged me and disheartened me and disillusioned me. But again, we live and we learn. And that was one of my main issues with the Christian community, the lack of love flow. They could quote scriptures left and right, preach sermons, speak in tongues, fall out, quote unquote, in the spirit, and get up and not even speak to the damn Christian colleagues. I mean, some of them were like that, but again, there were a few who were truly loving, and I have a few that I still deal with in my personal and social life that are truly earnest and sincere about their Christian spiritual posture. And I love them and they love me, and it's proven. We are proven to each other that we love and demonstrate it towards one another. And I'm deeply grateful for those few Christians I still have in my life, including those in my family. Now, moving on to the metaphysical realm, I have learned that all of them are not flowing in love. They do rituals and spells and talk about different practices that they indulge in. But you have to know, some of them aim to kill your vibes. Some of them are manipulative, sneaky, abusive, and overall suspect. And I'm glad to have learned that. I mean to tell you, some of them don't take metaphysical laws seriously. And the universe is aware and will address them accordingly. And I'm not about hating on people, but I'm telling y'all, especially you newbies, don't just assume that because someone is in the metaphysical practicing world that they are about flowing in love and adhering to the natural and universal laws, one of which is love in practice and demonstration. Some of them will aim to put you in trick bags and some more shit. And again, I'm not about hating, but about knowing who to exchange energies with and who to pretty much cancel their subscriptions to my quote-unquote magazine. And you might consider doing the same. Now, I am deeply grateful for the metaphysical folks that I have encountered who are serious business about flowing in love, caring and sharing, giving and receiving. Life is about exchanging, people. We can't be excessive as far as giving, nor excessive as far as receiving. Sometimes we need to learn how to say no, thank you. And one of my things I made up years ago is, if we aren't giving, we aren't living. But we have to set boundaries, because there are some folks who are users, and some of them are metaphysical users, okay? So, what I would advise for those who are inclined to heed what I have shared is that you evaluate people, and before you engage with them on a serious basis, on a deep basis, let it be proven that they are really about flowing in love, which is a main instrument of metaphysical living. Well, that's a main instrument of living, period. But if you witness or observe that they're not consistently flowing in love, and I'm not talking about, people that have off days. We all have days when we don't feel our best and we may not be flowing, with some serious love juices. But I mean overall, consistently. If they're not flowing in love, showing by evidence, if you sense that they are being abusive towards you, if you sense that they are suspect, if you sense that they are talking the talk but not walking the walk, you may be inclined to walk away from them. That's if you don't work with them. If you work with them, that's something entirely different. There are ways to mentally dismiss them when you are in the midst of them in workplaces. But I'm talking about on a social level. Don't be going to these functions with these so-called metaphysical gurus and teachers and so-called leaders if you don't evidence from their conduct on the overall basis that they are really yielding and embracing what the natural and physical laws represent. Because like I said, some of them are users, abusers, and some of them are aiming to kill your vibes. You know that song, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe? Or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Woo! So, no hating, but just beware. Thank y'all for listening. And some of those metaphysical folks that are not vibrating on high levels, they can, in fact, have potential to evolve and to reach higher dimensions. So I'm not saying it's hopeless for them. Those who may right now be abusers and users and so forth, they can, elevate. Only the universe knows if and when they will. But in the meantime, if you sense from them that they're not elevated enough to be in your quote-unquote harmonious, loving, practicing for real deal atmosphere, environment, your space, your place, your postures, protect yourself from some of those metaphysical vampires. But again, keep your sense of humor. You can laugh. Don't take it too seriously. Just know you may need a boatload of tourmaline for their asses. And shout out to those that are authentically practicing magic with love in consistent place. I love y'all, and I thank you for proving that you are about love too. And I have to prove myself as well. I'm not taking myself out of the loop. I need to prove that I'm metaphysically serious business, authentic, real deal, earnest about adhering to what pleases and delights the universal rhythm. Woohoo! Thank y'all for listening. Bye now.